didn't hit it that time.
And it's
I
done.
did. So for all 29 of you that are here, I'm sorry. For our webcasts, we have to cut back the pre-show banter because I went to watch one of them and it was like half an hour of this before. So I'm just going to make an executive decision. Stop that. We could do a separate release of just the pre-show banner, and then we could actually do the actual thing. But whatever I'm trying to find stuff, I have to scroll through, and it's like knock knock, fart jokes, cats, plants.
Chapter 30 minutes of jokes for this today.
Yeah, Ryan's gonna get defensive and say, but there's chapter points. You can just jump to wherever you want.
Yeah. I know you're going to say that, Ryan, and I just want to say I don't care. Get rid of it or put it in its own separate thing, like pre-show banner. Or you can make this like talking about
like 6 months pre-show banner all at once.
Yeah, just release it all. It should be like the B-sides of Black Hills Information Security.
We've already talked about this in another pre-show banter, like just doing like at a con, doing a like 24-hour pre-show banter for 24 hours.
Jason, I'm buying a tux for it, dude. Okay,
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing a 24-hour pre-show banter marathon raising money for open source tools.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's gonna get weird though after a while.
Weird.
But that's the point.
That's the point. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely the point of that whole thing. And I'm going to try to find worst tux I can find, like the Jerry Lewis style tux. I think I want one.
We have a lineup of people who are going to come on.
Yeah. All the time.
Do that too.
All day. All the time zones, all day. 24 hours of pre-show banter. Open source tool authors will come on. They'll talk about their tools. We'll have just Dave Kennedy coming on talking about his DeLorean. Like, it's just going to be chaos for 24 straight hours.
Dave's going to come on and talk about, you even lift, bro?
Yeah, bro. Like, you still look.
I've been working out a lot. I got a tool for that.
Do you remember when we did Michael Allen's webcast and he was like, I honestly have never watched a lot of Black Hills webcasts and I'm surprised that people actually show up for the banter. I don't understand. I don't understand why people actually watch this.
Neither do we, actually. It doesn't make
because like
sense.
error does not compute. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Why would anybody be here? This is terrible.
You guys aren't even funny, all right? You guys
That's why I heard.
Well, you're not saying anything that's not true, but it still means it doesn't hurt.
Mom.
Oh.
God. So,
Well, and we're out of banter. Well done, everybody.
well, we're done here.
Only
Man.
39 more minutes to kill.
Now it's the post-banter show, banter.
This pre-show banter.
Oh,
I
I got
love banter.
Time to go cook a frozen pizza. So we can go.
I am now completely vaccinated, by the way. Got my second
Oh!
Pfizer.
When'd you
So,
get the second?
Like about 45 minutes ago.
Oh, so you may or may not be able to finish this webcast.
Maybe. I was a little bit pissed off. They wanted me to wait for 15 minutes and I didn't develop any superpowers. So
Mhm.
I asked them if there were any other drugs that I could try at the pharmacy and they didn't think that was funny.
Maybe that's just a shot.
Is there anything else I can try back there? Because this isn't working.
I can't fly.
I got my first shot. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. First
I
shot.
was going to say, I got my first shot on Tuesday, and on the way home from picking up my daughter from school, I stopped at the butcher near our house, and I was like, I'm just really craving raw meat right now, so I'm going to go in and buy some. So my daughter's like, chill.
God damn it. So yours turned you into a werewolf. I mean, I would take that.
Well, I got the Johnson & Johnson, and I have 5G now. And in addition to that, I also am better at Microsoft and Active Directory because
How did that happen?
it's to Microsoft now.
It's like the Matrix, like Microsoft products are speaking to you in a way that, I still thought it was so funny. Dave Kennedy posted that. He goes, I got my second shot and I have this rash. And it's like a tattoo of like, I don't know if it was Bill Gates or Fauci with an American flag behind it.
So for years, I was a Facebook marketer, way back in the early, 2000s or whatever. Did a lot of work on Facebook. And then as time went on, what Facebook was doing was reducing the algorithm And so let's say you have a page with 100,000 fans, they would reduce it to 2% of your audience would see what you actually post. If any of them liked it, then it would spread it out to a little bit more. But in that time frame, you're like, wait, I worked really hard to get these 100,000 people to know who I am. Why are you shutting me down to 2%? And so at that point, you're like, well, never mind. I'll never use Facebook in my entire life. So that is why there's no Black Hills on Facebook unless there's something legacy there.
So I've also kind of noticed with Twitter, if you're on Twitter constantly, like the amount of like retweets you get is like average, right? But if you go off Twitter for like 2-3 days and then you come back and then you repost something, like the number of retweets and likes like goes through the roof. It's almost like they're trying like, come back. We'll feed you. We'll give you another hit. So I'm trying to kind of play with that.
Tweets, you're just like, oh God, gonna get some more retweets.
John, are you just calling out the fact that we had more followers than you last week and now we don't?
So I've got the exact time, everybody. We didn't tweet about that, but we should have. So whenever Jason came on board, one of the things I desperately wanted was for BHIS to be bigger than me, because I didn't want this just to be the John Strand show all the time. And I got a text from him Thursday at 4:50, April 8th at 2021 at 6:49 p.m. Eastern. BHIS passed me on Twitter, like that exact time. He sent it to me. So that was one of the goals and objectives. And when you took over the Twitter account, I think it was only like at 5,000-6,000 people. So it's kind of taken off. So that was like we actually celebrated that. That was kind of a big deal to see that happen. That was really cool. So.
And we woke up the next morning, and it's funny, you had more followers, but it's okay. Keeps me hungry. Keeps me hungry.
Yeah, you just what's it? But it's the trajectory. It's there. It's there. It's there. Because I just don't want to have it set up. Braindance is asking, seen you on the short list. Any chance of me getting verified anytime soon on Twitter? What does that buy you on Twitter?
I mean, people can trust your links a little more, I guess. You're not the fake John Strand.
But it seems like it's a really cool club of people in information security that have a lot of followers and aren't verified. It's kind of neat, I think. I don't know.
Is it kind of random? I've seen some people who are like, I didn't even ask for this, but I'm verified now. Isn't that cool, guys? I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess you're in the cool club now.
These links are safe.
I did have one InfoSec thought leader I was eating dinner with that pointed that out, and like it was very proud of the fact. He's like, "See, I'm verified. You're not, but I am." And I was like, "You asshole."
Who's the guy with the beard? Well, the only beard that is cool is Beau's. So.
I mean, we're
so bushy.
Yeah.
Does your wife use it as a pillow? Because it looks like I'm not
as far away from it as possible.
But looking at it from afar, it's like something I want to snuggle with. Like we had like little Beau Koopy dolls. Maybe I would set up for Reno. Because you're teaching in Reno, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. I'm not. And that's going to be weird. So to be honest, I'm not ready to go back yet in front of a classroom. I like this format. I like doing it online. We have a whole bunch of students in the class next week. So I need some more time. It's too soon.
It's too soon. It's too soon after the big COVID break, and don't want to get in front of that many people yet. I'm not ready.
Oh, I hit that right. I resigned from SANS, and then COVID hit, and it's been great being at home.
Yeah, it's almost like you knew it was coming.
That has come up in some conversations with other SANS instructors. But
did you get 5G for the rest of them? Is that what you're saying?
Oh my God, no. Well, yeah. So yeah, I mean, there was a bunch of people like in the business community, like the actual COO of SANS, the previous one resigned right before COVID hit, and there was a whole bunch of other COOs all over corporate America that quit right before COVID hit, and some people were saying, like, I must have known something about it. Nah, it had nothing to do with COVID at all.
No.
Are we going to have a mechanical bull contest at Reno? And the answer to that is, hell yes, we're going to have a mechanical bull contest.
I didn't see anyone ask that, John.
I saw it up above on Discord.
No, I didn't see it.
Talking about,
I didn't see. Nobody asked that
that
question.
was
You
Ryan.
dropped
Ryan
that
was
on-
talking about mechanical bull contest. Ryan, don't throw me under the bus here, man.
I'm even doing a search for mechanical bull on. I'll just do a search here. Mechanical
It's on Discord.
Bull contest.
bull.
Ryan put it out. The shoot is
Oh.
at 10:24 a.m.
Now we
wow.
find out.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
There it is.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Yeah,
Also,
right.
everyone on Discord, if you didn't know, if you want to search for any type of topic like Metasploit or anything like that, you could always just search and see every post. Like,
That is fantastic.
That gif of that guy on the mechanical bull is one of my all-time favorite gifs.
That's actually what John's gonna look like.
With the
there.
I would
tie.
love to be like if he was my vendor salesperson. I was like,
I would buy whatever he's selling.
Whatever. Yeah.
I want him to actually go to a real rodeo and ride a real bull like that. It change the game forever. Like, you know, he's going to be the Elvis of mechanical bulls. Like, it's like, well, mechanical bulls, guys would just strap in and try to hold on, but now they have to do fancy dances on top of it. Because I want to do that. I just want them to. So.
man, this guy is fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Look at that leap. It's just-
Whew, I don't know where we go from there, guys.
I don't know. It's pretty much done. Pretty much done.
the head.
Yeah, that's bad.
Oh.
That's bad.
That will be me.
I would say, how'd you get me in the video?
And I'm done. That was fun.
So one of my
Destructive.
favorite memories of all time, I was in New Orleans with Kevin Johnson and Mike Poor and a bunch of other instructors. And we got really, really, really drunk, and we found a bar that had a mechanical bull. And we spent like hours riding or trying to ride the mechanical bull. And Kevin was wearing this bright pink shirt that said Hacker Princess on it. There was a lot of confusion in the bar. It was epic. But I actually did something very similar to that. So I know what that feels like whenever you get face planted into a bull. Hopefully that happens at Reno and the person doesn't like bleed or die, because it's funny as long as they don't get hurt.
Rusty a while ago said I connected 1 hour early to the webinar. My mistake. Your mistake
No.
indeed, Rusty.
Yep.
It was a mistake. So that's good.
Jason, how many groups are you part of on Discord? It is unbelievable here.
But over here,
That's-
you
And how
see
many
these?
unread messages
that's
do you have?
Gosh, oh, gosh.
See these? See?
I didn't
Just
keep
ignore everybody.
Well,
Yeah.
there's the Wild West Hack and Fest ones that I don't visit that often anymore because I've been working on special projects for John Strand. Who's like,
Secret special projects.
work on special projects.
Are you part of the special projects division?
Yeah,
I
he
am
is
the
the
special projects division.
You're the excitement creator. What's your title?
Yeah, someone gave me the title of excitement creator at Black Hills.
What?
Yeah, when I logged into the like HR backend to put in my phone number or something, to my title was excitement creator. I was like,
Nice.
A little pressure.
That sounds like a position on a porn set. I don't know like why I went to that, but it does.
You should just shorten that to Exciter.
There you go. That actually makes it worse, Beau.
Chief Exciter Officer.
For someone who couldn't figure out why you shouldn't put the word penetration on Twitter, you quickly went to porn and exciter. That was interesting.
Okay, so but that's weird, and I'm going to talk about that in this webcast a little bit.
Oh, here
because
we
why
go.
not?
I get it. This is
So it's like promiscuous sniffing backdoors. For years, for me, they were just promiscuous sniffing backdoors. And then at some point in my career when I'm teaching, a whole bunch of people start laughing. And I'm like, I don't get it. And they're like, promiscuous backdoor? I'm like, we have these mental blocks where you compartmentalize things. Like dirty jokes go over here. And the world for me in computer security is pristine. Did you guys ever go through SEER training?
no,
I
but
did.
I came close to being the videographer for Sierra training. Like, I know that sounds not as cool, but I was the videographer for air assault training, and I was videographer for some ranger training.
Yeah. So they had this video that they would show people before they went into SEER training, and it was a video of this guy that gets abducted in a very bad place, and he's like tortured, and the people are asking him about secrets, and he's refusing to tell, and it just goes on and on and on, and it's just this horrible like torture video. And then finally, like right about at the end, they show him pictures of his family, and they're threatening to kill his family, and then right at the last minute, you can tell he's about to break, and then like the SEALs come in and kill all the bad guys, and that's the end of the video. And it's like, be sure to not give out like national secrets. And there's no effing lesson in that video, like at all. Like, it's not like, how does this help me? Like, am I just supposed to wait until SEALs Team 6 like shows up and saves my ass?
So
Like,
they're going to be here, right? That's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
But I started asking questions about that. I'm like, so seriously, this particular video, what's the point? And they're like, Mr. Strand, I'm sorry, you're reading too much into it. I'm like, what am I supposed to read into it? Like, can you tell me? Because I just work in the IC community. I'll never be any place dangerous. Why the hell are you showing me this video? And they're like, well, just in case something like this happens to you, you know what to do. And I'm like, just keep taking the beating and having my teeth removed? Like, is that what I'm supposed to learn? Because, like, seriously, if someone pulls out pliers, I'm going to tell them everything I ever knew about anything classified. Because that shit is boring, right? Yeah, it's just
during World War II, the most successful, right, negotiator, I want to say negotiator, the most successful interrogator for Germany never tortured anyone.
Well, in the United States, we had some interrogators that did that too. They like befriended the German high.
They befriend them. They take them out.
They go out all the time, and they got them steaks, and they told them everything. Like everything.
Like, you're my friend, right? Yeah.
Oh.
So my job in the military was a combat photographer, and so I'm going to drop a post in here. And whenever you watch D-Day footage or watch any like war footage, you're like, oh man, that looks intense. Imagine being the person holding the camera
with the shiny thing at the top of the boat. And that one that you showed, I could totally see the photographer as they're going into the beach. He's like, excuse me, sir, can I get up a little bit higher? I want to get a better angle on what's going on. It's like, Jason, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Right here at the back of the boat. If I could just get up higher above where everything is protected. Is this a good place? This is a good angle. All right, guys, go. So
So the issue that happens with military camera people is that they don't understand the situation they're in because they're watching it through the lens. And so there are times, John, where they've seen camera ops, especially in Vietnam, where the camera operators get in the footage. It's like, oh, this would be a better angle, like right over here. And now they're like,
but also I would think maybe on the other side, they're like, don't shoot that guy. He'll post this on Twitter.
That's exactly what everybody's thinking.
Now, that's what they're thinking, right? That's how it's coming out. Did they have training for you on that, like what not to do? Or was it just like, here's a camera, go, you'll figure it out, you're expendable?
No, there was actually, it was 10 months of training.
Oh my God.
Just took forever.
No, last week I was on a recorded webcast where we had the awkward silence. Like we had about 20 minutes ago, the 4 or 5 seconds of really awkward silence between us. It was like that for 10, 15 minutes before it actually started. It was great. It was really something. And I tried talking to the people and one of them went, shh.
You got shushed?
You got
Yeah,
shushed.
I got
No
shot.
way.
You need awkward silence here.
How about we all just shush Beau anytime he goes to talk?
Hey now. I'll just go back on mute.
It's easier that way.
So, Beau, speaking of Beau, you have this class called Breaching the Cloud. Incredibly successful, very popular. Lots of people have taken it. And since then, a lot of clouds have been attacked. Would that be a true correlation?
Blame you for that? Can we blame you for Exchange?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I
Sure.
think there's another one. Got to be.
Yeah. Go for it. You can blame me.
Okay.
So, in this class, do you teach people that?
Quite a bit, actually. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I see, like the articles, and I'm like, this is really similar to like the lab on day 3 of my class. Like really similar. But I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, we gotta Teach like the latest and greatest.
Yeah. So not to get into a philosophical debate, but let's get into a philosophical debate.
Here we go.
Teaching offensive security, is that wise?
Oh man, you're going to open up like the floodgates now.
For sure, right?
I mean, yeah, like you said, it's been a debate for a long time. I mean, my opinion is that, I think there's definitely benefits to making the blue team more aware of a lot of the attacks that are out there, so they can better prepare for those types of attacks. So I think it's a good thing.
I mean, Jason, you got to train how you're going to fight, right? When you went in,
Yeah.
you were learning all this stuff, and you're getting prepared, and you're in scenarios that are simulated, and where they're isolated to try to help you be ready for a situation that is not isolated and it is dangerous or risky, and there is a lot more on the line. So having these kinds of tests where you are talking about some offensive piece, right? You're just helping other people be more prepared for situations that, they would otherwise not be.
Yeah, I heard a really good info, and it gets you and Ralph's take on this. There was a guy talking about red teaming. He was talking about red teaming, and not necessarily red teaming for computer security, but like just red teaming for crises. And hey, if there's a bomb that goes off in New York, you get all the people around, you say, all right, so what happens? And they say they escalate until a person in the room says, I don't know. And they're like, okay, so a bomb goes off here. What happens? Okay, so we call this, who's in charge? Okay, so these people come. And then, but this bomb is a diversionary bomb. And so this thing's happening over here. So now what happens? They're like, oh, and they keep escalating and escalating and escalating and escalating until someone in the room says, I don't know. And then that's the point where they start fixing things. And then the speaker pivoted to that you have to have a person who understands evil, or you have to have a person who understands evil intent or so. Because they said they were trying to take American soldiers in Afghanistan and said, if you were going to bomb this outward base, how would you do it? If we needed to protect and secure this, how would you do it? And the soldier's like, but I wouldn't bomb it. Yeah, but if you did, what would you do? It's like, but I wouldn't. You're like, yeah, no, but, and so it almost, you need people who will think of the worst thing possible so that you can come up with a way to just defend against the worst thing possible. And if you don't talk about the worst thing possible, then you can't defend against the worst thing possible. I guess that was a long rant about offensive security.
And the other thing too is it's not like we're teaching secret stuff. It's not like it's 0 days and shit like that. It's stuff that's been public. It's just like consolidating it all into a way to consume it easier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, but I also think a lot of people don't. They so much of the offensive mindset whenever we're looking at attacking networks is so fundamentally rooted in a traditional network architecture. And there are so few people that understand like the attack surface for the cloud that I think it's also necessary from just an awareness perspective as well, just to let people know that no, there's attack surfaces here that you need to be aware of as well.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's also kind of painting the picture too, because a lot of people talk about these pieces of the attack, like a little piece in the puzzle, and bringing some of those pieces together and make for the full chain, which is a lot more effective than just when someone blogs about one piece of an attack. And when you can bring those things together and actually show how it would all work, then you start to really realize how those little pieces are extremely powerful.
The tool that I'm really, really impressed with is one that Ralph told me about, Florian Roth's tool, Racine, about protect. It actually hooks the volume shadow copy. So if ransomware tries to delete it, it actually stops that from happening, and it kills the process that called the delete in the first place. So that's just an example of some of the cool tools you find on these things that you may not have known about.
Tobias said I look like Ryan Reynolds. All right.
Again, yeah, we know.
I get it.
We know. All the guys on this webcast, we know. Thank you for bringing that up. He looks like Ryan Reynolds, and I look like the pilot from Serenity. So some people win it like.
Honestly, though, I still think he was like a Make-A-Wish Ryan Reynolds, but like
Make-A-Wish. I think you're talking about the Wish version, Wish.com. A Make-A-Wish version of Ryan Reynolds is a very different thing, Ralph. So I had this business partner years
And they're
ago.
like, I want to meet Ryan Reynolds. And then you show up and they're like, "Why?" Well, Timmy, just remember, we're poor. So this is the best we can get you.
this is literally the best we could do. I'm sorry, you short notice.
Yeah.
Well, at least if this Black Hill thing doesn't work out, I can get a job as a Ryan Reynolds impersonator.
Stunt double, maybe? So,
B rate, C rate, but you're out there, man.
entire
man.
careers for that. So
So I had this business partner when I owned a comic book store that he, for some reason, wanted a comedian to come and roast us on our birthdays each year, and we would have a joint birthday party. And it was just like, there's moments you're sitting there just getting roasted by this comedian, and you're like, that one's so good, and I'm gonna need therapy. Oh, I still remember at least 3 of them that cut real to the core, but other than that, I'm fine.
now, did you kill, because when we were at Sands, they wanted to get a bunch of instructors together and do a roast for someone. And I remember talking with you about it, and you were like, this is an incredibly bad idea that should never see the light of day, ever. Did you know that?
I don't know
Were
if I
you
killed it, but I definitely voiced my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
So one time, a long time ago at Sands, we were talking about creating, well, me and the staff at Sands, we were talking about creating diva points, because instructors will show up into the classroom and they would be like, well, the way this room is facing is against my feng shui. We need to change it to this. And like the staff would spend like hours changing it on the whim of the instructor, or they'd come in and be like, I must have, my Sprite at 45.7 degrees, or, I need to have this brand of vinegar whenever I eat. Like, it was just stupid, crazy stuff. So I came up with this idea of diva points, where you would start at the beginning of the year and you would start with 100 diva points. And then if you made a stupid request, you would have to basically use your diva dollars to get that request done. And then if you went in debt, you had to take the entire staff out for dinner, and then you could earn more diva points back. And I thought that this was a great idea. The staff thought it was funny. The instructors hated it. Like, they're like, this isn't funny. This isn't funny at all, because I think it's important that I get my class facing the right direction. I'm like, really, wait, damn seriously. It's like, what's the problem if I want my Sprite at a specific temperature? That doesn't seem that hard. It's like, oh, wow. I didn't get this at all. Like, to spread the room here. And these are the people that wanted to have a roast. So there was no way that was going to happen.
All right, speaking of roasting and John Strand and diva points, it is time to start the webcast. So Ralph, Deb, Beau, Ryan, please say goodbye. Turn off your cameras, mute your microphones.